What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Kirby Mass Attack. Last time, we completed stages 1, 2, and 3 of the Sandy Canyon, and this time, we'll be doing stages 4, 5, and 6. So let's go ahead and get into it. You need 4 Kirbys to get into this stage. And right off the bat, we are going to have to do this stage twice. And the reason for that is if we go up top and avoid this new enemy that I will talk about in a minute, you will see that there are 2 doors to start out here. And I'm going to be taking the top one first, because both of them technically lead us to different places. And you have to use both of them in order to get all of the medals. But this first enemy right here is called a Clank. Sprout, I believe is what it's called. And what it does is it comes out of the ground and it attempts to grab a Kirby. And if it can grab a Kirby, it'll pull it down into the ground and instantly kill it. And this guy is another snooze root, except this is called a smoky snooze root, because all it does is it blows smoke over the whole screen and basically impairs your vision. And it really can't do any damage to you, except making it harder for you to know when other enemies are attacking you. It's a fairly harmless enemy. It's actually, in my opinion, the easiest of the snooze roots to deal with. But if we run over here, we can get into the first of the golden doors of this chapter, and we want to run over here and end this snooze root before it can blow out more smoke. Or sand. I'm not sure if it's smoke or sand, but it's definitely one of the two. And I don't entirely believe that it matters which one of the two. But this whole place is just for you to get more fruit in case you don't have 10 Kirbys already. I'm not really worrying about collecting as much fruit as possible, but might as well see whatever I can get. That was almost 2 full Kirby things, fruit gauges. But we are just going to run past this Clank Sprout and stop this snooze root from blowing smoke. Another thing to keep in mind for the snooze roots, in the desert specifically, is if it does blow smoke, you can get rid of the smoke pretty easily by just defeating the snooze root, as we'll probably see right here. It blows smoke, covers the whole screen, but if you attack it and destroy it, the smoke immediately goes away. And we just want to break these blocks and head up here and meet the second version of the Crazy Stactus. This is the yellow Crazy Stactus, and basically the only thing it has different is that it goes farther when it's going back and forth, so it has more of a range to hit your Kirbys. And we are just going to try to break this Stactus without much hassle, and apparently it hit one of my Kirbys, so how dare it. And we can go in here and force this Clank Sprout that will come out of the ground to break where you need it to break. It just comes out of the ground. You can actually kill the Clank Sprouts if you want. It just gives you extra fruit and nothing else really. But if you want to get rid of them, you can defeat them. And that is our rainbow medal for this stage. And now we just need to break this and head this way. And we get to see another enemy. Another new enemy, I guess I should say. That is called a Stappy. I have no idea why. But that is the official name of that thing. And the way to defeat it is you saw it flipped over, so its spikes are now upwards. And you just need to attack it whenever its head is downwards. And it just gets defeated after being hit so many times. And if you hit the bottom spikes, of course, you take damage. Why are you... Stop it! Stop spinning! It killed one of my guys? What? How did that happen? Its spikes were upward. The only one of these you have to pull out is the one above the spikes, but apparently I need to replace, not above the spikes, above the blocks, but apparently I need to replace a Kirby, so we're just going to take out these two and get our Kirby back. And this one also has a bean bond in it that gets taken out almost instantly. And this block right here is holding our warp gate. And if we continue this way, this is technically a boss, like mini boss fight, if you want to call it that. But also, you could just hit these buttons if you know the order, and it's the top right one, the top left one, the bottom right one. Wait, what? It's top right, top left. Is it top right? Okay, maybe we just kill Snappy. Top right, top left, top right, bottom right. You only have to hit 4 of them in a row, and apparently they are randomized. And once you do that, you could just go through this door. And that is the end of the top part of the stage. That is technically the long section of this stage, if you can believe it, even though the bottom section has 3 medals, while the top section only has 2. We can go ahead and just skip that, because we are just going to run through this bottom section, which is covered in quicksand. Quicksand's not really a problem if you just continue running, though. And we get to see another new face. And technically the mini-boss of this stage. It's not counted as a mini-boss in, like, any official, like, official documentation of this game or anything. But I like to call it a mini-boss because it's basically a mini-boss. It's as much of a mini-boss as the bigger Stactus was, alright? This is Gondolas, and the way to defeat him is to attack enemies and stuff and break these 3 layers on his back. This Soarer I'll hit, and you can see that it takes 3 hits per level. But you want to make sure you keep enough life in it so that you can get all 3 coins, because all 3 coins requires you to hit his back. So you have to have at least an entire section in order to get all 3 coins. So we're just going to ignore these jerk vines because all they have in them is fruit, and I don't need fruit right now. And instead, we're just going to collect our Kirbys and head up here because we need this key in order to get one of the medals. And basically, this is just an auto-scroller stage where you ride on the back of gondolas. And come on, everyone on the 10. And you can see that basically broke the entirety of one section on its own. We're just going to avoid this slug. I forget the name of the slug. Stop being poisoned, please. We're just gonna leave those Stactuses there because I don't really want to break any more of this guy's back. Come on, Kirby, don't get contained. You can't be contained. And this is the hardest part of this whole place, is breaking this block and getting the key up there, because the key has to be up there in order to open this chest and get the get the 4th medal. And this last medal is probably the hardest one to get, if I'm being honest, because we're about to fall off a cliff. So we're in dire mode right now. And you need to, I'm just gonna hit this one so that we only need 1 more to stop it. But you need to hit this Soarer to get that last medal, and then you open the back and go through the door. It's the most dire one to get because if you miss it, you basically fall off the cliff. But that just leads you right to the end of the stage, and we had no damage, so we got a gold star. And that is all 5 medals in that stage. So, on to stage 5. This stage is definitely shorter than the last one because it only has 3 medals and is mostly an auto-scroller. Let's go ahead and take out these. Actually, oh, that's a thing I could talk about. The stactuses. If you defeat the bottom stactus and not the other stactuses, they will split apart and basically go flying. Well, this seems precarious. What does the bomb do? Oh, we make an elevator. Because that's what bombs do, definitely. And I believe that in this section, we need to get a treasure chest that is on the right. And I'm just ignoring the fruit because I don't super need it. Good job, me. Well done. Immediately get crushed by a block. Save the Kirby's, and that is our first medal. We need to blow up this so we don't die, and that is a lot of this chapter, is blowing stuff up so you don't die, even though you could still die, as I am pointing out, or I'm showing very specifically. But once you get past this elevator part, it actually sends you up here, and I don't believe there's anything. Well, to the left there's a skip door in case you missed the chest, but if we run over here, we get to pump up a bunch of balloons. And the balloons are actually carrying our next mode of transport. Because why would we run anywhere in this platformer? We get to fly. Even though these Kirbys can't fly. Basically, this is controlled by weight and is very awkward, if I'm being honest. I'm avoiding the question mark because it's just telling you how to move the basket. And also, while you're flying, there's a bunch of giant Gordos that you have to avoid because if you get hit by them, they instantly kill you. But yeah, you just have to use the top screen to know where stuff is and control the Kirbys on the bottom screen to force the basket wherever you want it to be. And what is this? Oh, we got bananas. I guess I was wrong about that first question mark. I hope that wasn't one of the question marks I needed to grab. We're just going to avoid these Gordos because they are very dangerous if you get too close to them. And we actually need to get in between this one because it is a medal that we can throw Kirby at and get. And more bananas. Atri, please run this way. I don't want to deal with the Gordos. The Gordos, if it hasn't been obvious, are terrifying. And you want to avoid that skeleton because I believe it's a, it just sends Scullies at you or something. Or it makes enemies. That's probably more likely is that it makes enemies. Also, buy Kirby's. You can still save your Kirbys on this level, by the way. Even if you throw them off, you can still save them. Also, here's a big bean bond that's going to probably be in my way for a good section of this chapter. Come on. Come on. I'm going to have to redo this section. Okay. This has gone to shit. Please grab. Basically, that question mark I missed because the big bean bond was weighing down the balloon held a key, and you need that key when you get up here, I believe, is what's in that last one. But once you get up here, it is just the end of the chapter. So I'm going to go back into that chapter, and I'm going to see if I can get that last question mark block, and I will show you when I get there. So I'll be right back. All right, I managed to get the last. Great, I managed to hit the last question mark that I missed last time because of the big bean bond, but apparently not without losing a Kirby on the way. And since we're so close to the end of the chapter, I'm just gonna ride this out. And we will end this chapter with the last medal. I did lose a Kirby because I threw it off the edge trying to get that medal, but oh well. And that will lead us to stage 6, which requires appropriately 6 Kirbys. And this is not a new enemy, but it's an enemy I should probably talk about because it was in stage 1 in the green ground, but I never actually told you its name. This is a birdie. And I just wanted to bring it up because it's such a good name. They're like, what are we gonna call this bird? Oh, it's a birdie. Also, this is another, well, not another new enemy, but a new enemy. This is called a mech gig. And gig spelled G-E-G. For some reason, they showed the mech gig in a stage before they showed the regular gig. I don't know why, but the mech gig has a metal bottom, meaning that when it's flipped over, it cannot actually be harmed. So you have to hit it when its head is down. And we're just gonna take out this other birdie and push this stone block. And I believe we just pull down on this ring, and this whole level mechanic is about pulling on these rings and following whatever opens up from them, basically. And luckily, we're inside this level because I much prefer the inside levels to the outside levels in this world. Take out this Mumbon so it doesn't bother me. And there is our magic ring for the for the stage. And I want to make sure my blue Kirby gets through it. So here is a bit of a puzzle. And this one is slightly more involved than any of the previous ones we've ever done. Basically, what we need to do is move this block all the way over to underneath where the bomb is over here. And this may take a minute, so I might speed this up. All right, now that the block is under where the bomb is, we just need to put a couple of Kirbys on the crank, and then we need to push the block underneath where the metal is, and that's how we get this medal. It's a little bit involved, and it is the second medal because if you can guess, the first medal is within this gold door, so we need to also open up this one and break into where the gold door is. The reason I wanted to get the second medal first is because if you go into this gold door, the metal block resets, so you have to actually go all the way and push it all the way back over to where the bomb and the metal are, and it's just kind of tedious in order to do that. Where's my medal? What'd you do with my medal? That's a bomb, sir. There's my medal. Get the medal. It's gonna switch directions because of course it is. That's another bomb. I just want the door at this point. Guys, don't blow up, please. Also, you have to go through that door in order to get your rainbow medal. And we're just gonna continue moving forward because we don't need to do that block puzzle again. And up this direction, you can see that we don't actually have a ring here, so we need to go over here, and there's a little birdie here that has our ring. And I believe 3 Kirbys isn't enough to take it out. I thought it was 2 Kirbys that was the number. But once you defeat that birdie, you get the ring and can just head over this way and pull it down. Luckily, it's not too involved, and you can get past it, and here's your warp door for the chapter, or stage. And say hello to a really big gear that you need to push. And this is a bit involved. This is another one of my least favorite mechanics in this game, having to throw Kirbys to push stuff. at what is effectively a snail's pace is very irritating. And this is basically the entire rest of the chapter, so I hope you're ready for just pushing a gear. Oh good, we have a block. Kill this bonbon, because I don't want to deal with it while pushing this lever. And once we push the lever, it just opens the gate. It's very straightforward. I don't even know why they put that gate, if I'm being honest, since it takes about 3 seconds to open. Something I should mention, the higher on the gear that you hit, technically the faster it rolls, or the farther it rolls. Come on, out of the poison. Oh, hello. You are a new enemy. This is a big bonbon. And it works the exact same as any of the big Bon enemies. Except it comes back to life just like the regular bonbon. So I would recommend taking it out and then running. And we can throw the Kirbys at these boxes in order to get stuff like that metal that's in that one. And the magic gate that's in that one. I actually want to send you through the magic gate in order to have all pink Kirbys again. And then we're just going to continue rolling. Oh, rolling. Come on, actually throw, please. And we just need to get this metal gear onto this contraption, basically. And you want to have 10 Kirbys by the time you get here. Very specifically 10 Kirbys. Because this is going to grab onto metal gear, I believe. You can either hit the star if you don't have 10 Kirbys, or if you have 10 Kirbys, you can throw them onto this ring. And with 10 Kirbys... Oh, hold on. I am wrong, is what I am. You have to hit this star in order to grab the gear, and then you put the 10 Kirbys on. Otherwise, the claw just kind of flies into space. And we want to just lift that gear up to drop it. And when we drop it, it will hit the bomb and basically open up the 2 medals that we have left in this stage. And opens up a slight decline, so the gear goes a little bit faster than if you're just pushing it across where the bomb would have blew up. So it speeds it up ever so slightly. But that is our 5th and final medal of the stage. And we just have to get this gear to where it's going. And we also have to push it uphill, which is not fun, especially when you have to continue calling your Kirbys to keep it going. Otherwise, they get farther and farther behind and become harder to throw. But once you get it here, it actually just goes on its own and is very nice that you don't have to continue pushing it. But we're just going to the bottom of this temple, and it looks like the gear is being attached to a different gear. And you thought we were just moving a gear, but say hello to the mini boss of the stage. This is the Great Gear, along with what is essentially its henchmen in the rolling pawns, which are the blocks that it has on the chain. But what you need to do is you need to even out the weight on each side and then just throw Kirbys at the middle to break it, and then start destroying the chain, or just start destroying the gear from the inside. And also, I know I mentioned the rolling pawns, but that spiked one is called a rolling spike. And it is the other variation of its henchman, being the rolling pawn. It also has the taller ones, which count as 2 rolling pawns, as you will see, not here, apparently. But you can destroy the rolling spikes the exact same way. You just have to make sure not to hit them while their spikes are out, or you will take damage. And we just need to, once again, destroy this, and they have a big rolling pond on this side now, which you can actually hit directly if you throw at an angle here, which is what you want to do. Until they start doing that, then you can destroy this bottom one without any fear at all, because it basically evened out the weight by itself. And once you destroy it 3 times, that is the boss. And it has this whole animation of it being destroyed and everything. But as it's destroying itself, we can just go through the gate and end the stage. And that is, once again, our rainbow stage for this lair. And destroying this will let us head into the second to last layer of this world. Cross our rainbow bridge. And that leads us to stages 9, 10, and 11. But I think we're going to end this episode here. So I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we will be doing chapters 7, 8, and 9, to my unfortunate dismay. But until then, happy adventuring!